Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Time for more Vintage Cube. And yeah, let's have a look at this opening pack. I think this is like pretty regular for me, no power, but there's some sweet ones in here. Former All-Star Dak Faden is cool. I don't mind that card at all, but I think we can do a little bit better. I'm Twister if you want to go broken, but I'm actually just going to go Smuggler's Copter. I feel like Smuggler's Copter makes so many of my decks, and yeah, it's just solid. Sometimes you use it to discard good stuff. Sometimes you use it in aggressive decks to like filter your draws. And of course, get in for flying damage. There's a little bit of insulation against sorcery speed stuff. Yeah, I just like that card. What are we passing here aside from the Twister and the Dak? Not really many, if any, like great options. So, now this is a pack. We have Shieldred, Parallax Wave, and Urza Saga. That is a very good collection of cards. So, first of all, let's just try and power rank them with no context, right? So, Urza Saga needs artifacts to be great. Parallax Wave needs cheap creatures to be great. Shieldred needs 4 mana to be great, right? Shieldred and Smuggler's Copter. I mean, I don't mind that color pair. Funnily enough, there's also something to be said about Tolarian Academy, but I'm gonna go Shieldred here based on just being the best standalone card. Let's see if we get rewarded for thinking like that. So we don't know which other color we're gonna pair it with, but we do know that Mana Leak is the best card in this pack. So Mana Leak versus Black Fetch, I would say, is the pick here. Maybe I take Black Fetch. Delay the decision. Blue black Smuggler's Copter is probably, I don't know, maybe the worst color combination for a copter. That has a little to say. Okay, I'll try the Black Fetch here and see where things go from here. Here's a reanimation spell. It is a bad one though, but we have a copter and we have a great black card, so we are pretty likely to want to play Life Death. If we're not picking Life Death, let's see what's the best card in the pack. Probably something like Seed Shark. I don't think the gap is that big, and this could lead to, you know, broken things later. So let's take 4 man's reanimation. We can kind of keep delaying the decision by taking Inquisition. I don't hate that. Inquisition is good in a fair black deck, I would say. Card like Grist is interesting. But yeah, let's delay the decision. But we can't do that forever. Okay, now it could be time. I think Stoneforge Mystic is the best card in this pack. Funnily enough, it also goes the best with Marsh Flats. Okay, maybe we speculate on that. Looks like a decent decision. Here's a land and a Council's Judgment. So the Council's Judgment is kind of a good sign, but I feel like I should improve my mana. I want to be able to cast like double white and double black most likely, and having a good mana base is important for that. So let's take Concealed Courtyard. This is not too exciting. I mean, I could play Winds of Abandon as like a curved topper. So maybe we just take that. And if I get the perfect deck, I don't play that card, so it's fine. Going into black and white here, I feel like there's a Sculler somewhere, and that Sculler Wield. Sculler is like pretty awesome. It's very good Mesmeric Fiend variant. Red is still maybe open, I guess, but yeah, white-black is open as a color combo. So that doesn't necessarily mean that black is open or white is open, but at least it's open as a combo, so we might get the good gold cards like Vindicate, Scholar, etc. The good thing is we have prioritized mana, and we're playing 2 colors, so oh my god. Yeah, that should be illegal. I'll take a screenshot here and report these players. Okay, Parallax Wave. Definitely a nice addition to the deck. Dogged Detective or Speculate. I'm actually going to speculate here. It's like Porthilinga's Gut, whatever. I'll happily take a land here. The lands don't work. The Bodyguard I might play, but obviously it's not that great. So here's a Shadow Spear, so at least the Stoneforge can go get that. But I'm hoping to get either Skull Clan or Glimmerlands. That's like my favorites, but of course I'll also play Battle Skull or Cauldron Complete. Okay. Okay, decent first pack here, I would say. I think we're definitely in a good seat for a color combination. Oof, okay. I mean, this pack is insane, right? It's like 3 of the absolute best imaginable card. Opening Power, opening Earlingus, or opening Scrubland, but we're obviously going to take the black box, on-color box. Can't be unhappy about that. Makes our deck faster, and sometimes when 2 great decks collide, speed is the name of the game, so it's also an Atraxa that I wouldn't mind. Let's see if we can wheel the Scrubland. I'm going to be realistic here. Even Lele and Troll in the same pack. Very good pack. Okay, here's a Thoughtseize and a Necromancy, and from there, there's a pretty big gap down to Mana Tithe, but let's be honest, there's also a gap from Thoughtseize to Necromancy. Yep, easy Thoughtseize. That card is just very good. The information is good. The disruption is good. Yep, definitely a good pickup. So now we're kind of cooking here. We have Mox, Thoughtseize, Parallax Wave, Shieldred, Copter. Like that's good power level. Sometimes the problem with those decks can be like pound for pound, the cards aren't that impressive. But if we can go for both, like good curve, good quality, good mana, we're definitely onto something good. Here's Authority and Fire Covenant. What's the best splash? Because I do have a Plateau and I do have a Jetmare's Garden. What is the best splash? Fire Covenant is basically like one more Parallax Wave, I would say. Maybe that card is just better because it's cheaper mainly. Okay, I'll take that. That's actually a very decent splash. This could look like Thraben Inspector because of mana cost. I do like Preacher, and Samwise could be cool. Bolt is not my favorite card off the splash. Having soft removal off a splash is not ideal, but yeah, Thraben, can't go wrong with that card. Also, right now, I might not even play the Life Death, so let's put it in the maybe pile here alongside Winds of Abandon. Fire Covenant off of 1, 2, 3 sources already. Fire Covenant is just insane against, I don't know, like 2/3 or maybe even 70% of the field. Just so strong. This pack is not all that, but there is a Giver of Runes. Giver of Runes is always like a decent card. It's kind of like a flag bearer. The opponent has to kill it, or it can do like good stuff later. So here's Novice Inspector or Sheldred's Edict. I think I'm gonna go for the creature. That's totally fine. Cryptic Code, I really love that card. It's done some heavy lifting for me in the past. Here I think it's time to take removal over the 3-drop. I think we can get a bunch of 3-drop creatures later. Also, there is an equipment. I think Fatal Push is just... It's nice to have removal, and I believe we can get 3-drop creatures and an equipment later. Might come back to bite me. Let's see. Very, very, very good threat in Adeline or Mana Fixing in Godless Shrine. I'm gonna go for Godless Shrine here. I'm a big sucker for building like insane mana bases. And speaking of that, the Scrubland Wield, I didn't necessarily anticipate that, but it makes sense. So now our mana is really, really strong. I have to focus on, well, one more land maybe. What's better, Eagles or Triome? It's probably Eagles now that I have Scrubland. So I was about to say now I have to focus on getting good spells. I feel like maybe I could have, if I was anticipating wheeling the Scrubland, should have taken the Adeline. Let's see if that comes back to bite me. That card is always insane for me. The order here has been kind of funny, where I got like 5 fixing cards in a row or something along those lines. But we can prioritize like interchangeable stuff in the 3 slot, we should be able to do that. Like, see, this is just awesome, right? We get Creature and Spellbinder. The difference between these two and then, let's say, Blade Splash and Adeline, it's not that big, right? So that's like the philosophy behind drafting like this. Is it's very hard to replace Godless Shrine and Scrubland, but these others much more easy. We can take Soul Cauldron. It's sometimes some like Graveyard Hate, I believe. And tap it. Yeah. So gonna be good against Reanimator. Okay. Status after almost 2 packs is I think I'm doing good here. I have a piece of power, I have high card quality, I have a good mana curve. I have insane mana, so actually doing great here. I think the Stalker, you need like a lot of fetches for that card to be good. Alright, next pack. Are we starting out with an underwhelming pick? It looks like it. So I like the Legionnaire. I should probably take Wasteland here because my deck is going to be, lower curve and therefore a hit on mana most of the time. So let's take Wasteland. Hope to wheel the Legionnaire. What else do we have here? Like, I guess I'll play Call Against Command or take the land if there's nothing else. Get past Ancestral Recall. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we take Ancestral Recall and we try and work with that. I mean, it should be possible. We have an Eagles and a Fetch, so it doesn't take much to make Ancestral good, but oof. Yeah, very hard decision, actually. Well, it's, like, I have 0 blue sources already, but I guess you have to compare it to a card that might even wheel or is very interchangeable, so maybe the decision is easy. Maybe it's just the circumstances for drafting Ancestral that's less than ideal. It's kind of sad that I need to take more lands to make this deck good. Or, to enable my Ancestral at this stage. While I also have to think about, like, getting, like, a handful more playables. I would hate to register Island in this deck, so... yeah, I need a land or two to help me here. There's an Esper land, which is the perfect land, or a Demonic Tutor. This is kind of torture, but the Esper land being fetchable off Marshflash and Eagles, I think I have to take it. That just enables my Ancestral right there in 1 card. Demonic Tutor, obviously awesome, but that card would, search for Ancestral Recall a lot of the time. So we take the Esper land and we don't worry too much about it. But let's see, how many red sources do I have? I have Flats, Plateau, Garden, Eagle. That's 4 for the Covenant. I have Triome, Fetch, Eagles for the Ancestral, so 3. So 3 and 4 for the splashes. Not ideal, not terrible at all. So, okay, so usually I would be very interested in Spellseeker because it would, like, double Ancestral in my deck, but I think that puts too much pressure on the blue. So I'm going to take something else. So what's better, Flicker, Whisper, or Lingering Souls? Let's see. What's good to Flicker here? Has some decent stuff, but not insane. I'm actually going to go Lingering Souls. I really like that card. Against any fair strategy, like Planeswalkers, creatures, stalemates on the ground, etc. And maybe sometimes we can discard it to Smuggler's Copter for value. So right now I'm at 30 playables with 10 of them being mana sources. So I still need a couple of actual cards. 2-drop or 3-drop? That is the question. I'll take the Guardian of Nubenalia. So let's see. 2/2 for 2 mana. Enlist. As this creature attacks, I may tap a non-attacking creature you control without summoning Sickness. That's actually cool. When you do, add its power to this creature's power until end of turn. Enlist a creature, scry 2, and has indestructible. Yeah, so let's say I have some... I don't want to put my Sheldred into combat. I can tap it. All of a sudden, this is a 6/2 and get indestructible. Yeah, this card is a good 2-drop. I like Sentinel, also like mana fixing. The thing is, it's red, which is my one splash. It's blue, that's the other splash. And it's main white, so it's everything in one. I probably have to take that card. Okay, you got me. There's a Vindicate. Okay, let's take Vindicate. That's just an awesome card if you're playing black, straight up black-white. Okay, Figure of Destiny is good if I don't register many swamps, and Commando is good otherwise. So let's see. 1 black, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6 black. So I will play some swamps in the deck. That's why I'm taking Cathar Commando. Let's say I could live off of only duels for black. Figure becomes awesome, but yeah. Commando is also just totally fine. Okay, I like the look of this. So right now I have 11 mana sources. I add 6, that's 17. So I mean, right now I'm right there. Everything I'm doing from here will be an upgrade. So I can take a Legionnaire and put Life Death to the sideboard. So now I have Winds of Abandon, which may or may not be better than Elspeth. Who knows? I'm not going to take Archive. I have enough tap lands. Let's take Elspeth. Decide on that for later. Ooh, Teferi might be better than both. Okay. I like that. Flicker Wisp. Okay, we get a lot of stuff here, so we might have to make a decision during deck building. It looks like I have to cut one card during deck building. That card could easily be Benevolent Bodyguard, actually. And then we become a little bit more mid-range, but that's fine. The Fairy as my curve topper. Yeah, don't mind if I do. I have 1, I have 2, I have 3, I have 4 blue sources. For a long game, I think that's acceptable. For Ancestral and Teferi. I would have loved like 5 or 6, obviously, but I think 4 is playable. It's cool to play Fire Covenant and Teferi in my white, somewhat aggressive deck. There's even a Bodyguard. It might be better than Teferi, to be honest. So good to have cheap cards. And maybe that'll do it. 2 more cards. Wayfair. Maybe I bring you in on the draw, who knows? And let's see the 15th pick. Can we get anything insane? Nope. Oath of Druids goes to the sideboard. Time for deck building. So the cool thing is all I need to do is add 6 lands. So let's quickly check up on the number of white sources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I love that. So, I mean, perfect situation. I can go to 12. Let's count black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 3. That'll mean 9. So 12, 9. Is that good? 12 and 9. Maybe I need like this and play 11, 10. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 white. Should be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 black, 10 black, 11 black. Okay, so we can easily do like I originally did. This deck looks awesome. Black, white, splash, Fiery Covenant, and Ancestral Recall. Let's see if we can maneuver this to a great result. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't go anywhere. See you for the matches. Okay, here we are for round 1. Playing black-white with some splashes, as you can see from this hand. Yeah, this is pretty cool. Eagles can go get blue for later. I have all my colors here. Hopefully I can play some creatures leading up to a great Parallax Wave. That's like the built-in plan of this hand, I would say. It's no Mother Runes, but it's a fine turn 1 play. Giver of Runes versus Preordain, classic dual decks. Let's see if we can get under this blue deck. Drawing a 2-drop here would be legendary. Drawing a land, less so. So as sad as it sounds, I might hang on to this eagle. Let's attack for 1. Maybe I can win a game where I draw like 2 more lands. Maybe I need to draw some spells. So that's a reason to cycle the eagle. To make sure I kind of use my mana when I don't have anything else to do. So let's see. I'll fetch something blue here. Maybe we just go for the Esper land. That should be fine. I'll try and hang on to the eagle. Can't really fathom my mana being an issue later, but let's see. Nice draw for the turn, Shieldred. So now try and clear the way with Spellbinder, either by just it getting countered straight up, or me picking a card out of the opponent's hand. Okay, so it looks like if I take Oko here, the opponent doesn't have much to do. That's cool. So I make Oko more expensive. I offer the trade for Snapcaster. The opponent says no. Then I play Shieldred next turn. The opponent's really in trouble. My opponent doesn't even have double blue here for Snapcaster Preordain. They did draw it, but that's okay. Like my opponent's pretty flooded here. So Snappy's gone. Oko is still there, but you know, more expensive. Snapcaster Preordain. My opponent's interaction is Force and Negation. So yeah, tempo definitely the name of the game here. I hope Shieldred, like if Shieldred goes unanswered, pretty quickly game over. Let's see. Cast Shieldred, attack for 3 in the air. One has 3 swamps, Force and Negation, Factor Fiction, 1 unknown. They take 2 from Shieldred, and it's currently protected with Giver of Runes, which is pretty cool. Time Walk is a good one, because now the opponent gets to kind of, you can say, ramp into Oko. Oko is a 5-drop thanks to Elite Spellbinder. And from there, you know, bad things can happen. But I do have, like, okay, so this is a cool sequence from the opponent. The opponent went Time Walk for the blank card, draw cut down, or the other way around. Since Giver cannot protect itself, my opponent now gets to go Oko, make Shieldred a 3/3 with no abilities, which is kind of cool. Five mana Oko, pointed the Shieldred. Makes a lot of sense. I could be tempted to go Parallax Wave, attack Oko dead. I actually think that's a pretty great plan. The opponent can negate it though, but that's fine. Parallax Wave will probably get negated, to be fair, because if I start like blinking a blocker, blinking Shieldred later, it's just not ideal for the opponent. I pressure Oko, force the chump here with Snapcaster. Oko's at 2 loyalty. So it's kind of annoying that Oko is taking up a lot of damage here. Like a big life gain spell that shut off a Shieldred. It's pretty awesome. Let's see. Fact gone, negation gone, 1 swamp gone, Oko gone. So 1 swamp in hand and some unknowns. Grist is a good one. Now I can't kill. Well, if I draw land, I can do I can eagle and kill one of the walkers. Let's see. I do draw land. That's kind of amazing. So let's think about what I actually want to kill dead here with my flyer. Oko or Grist? Hmm. Also, I mean, the opponent might interact. Okay, they don't. So maybe kill. Maybe kill Oko and force the chump. I think that's a decent move. When it chumps, they're down to just the Grist. I have flying power here. So funnily enough, the fact I considered cycling Eagle early because it was very hard for me to imagine this scenario that I would win if I got to 6 lands like on time. But it turns out that Sheldred and Parallax Wave, that's like good things to do in the meantime. Opponent milling over him to Torak. Yeah, the opponent is playing a sweet full-tie deck. So let's just go immediately to combat, see what's going on. See the cryptic command or whatever the case may be. So maybe 2 flyers there, that guy there. I just want to get rid of the walkers. I feel like I'll be in great shape if I can do that. Vendilion Click. So now the opponent can trade off a flyer and make me draw a random card instead of a Legionnaire. Okay. Creature, pretty nice draw. So now the opponent can trade off, let's say, Eagle. And then next turn, Grist minus to kill Spellbinder. I guess Grist being on 2 is not ideal for that job. My opponent kind of needs some good stuff here, because otherwise Grist is just going to die in the air to the Spellbinder, and then the ground guys aren't going to do a whole lot. Yeah, we play against Timewalk Snapcaster. Good mana, good walkers, all across the board interaction. So yeah, this could be a very tough match. Okay, let's see what my opponent's killing off here. Maybe the Preacher. That card is, pretty decent. Preacher hits the bin, but so does Grist. My opponent gains life. It's usually a pretty weak play. So do I have anything? Yeah, I have an equipment. So I might as well cycle first main phase. Attacking for 6. Gonna play around Mana Leak by playing out a land first. Doesn't look like Mana Leak. And, Draw, nice Fatal Push. Funnily enough, if I'm a big brain, I do it on my opponent's turn to turn on Revolt. But I also think I have like some other white sorcery speed 1-drops, so it's just better to do on my turn. But when you draw it, it always makes you wonder. And the opponent succumbs to the beats. Okay, pretty nice. So against a deck like this, I really like individual card quality. Could be time for Stoneforge and Shadow Spear to go. I mean, that package wasn't very impressive to begin with. I could see playing Elspeth. I could see playing Teferi. All these other cards are kind of bad. And all of these cards are kind of solid. So not sure about the Fire Covenant. Let me put it that way. But, I mean, sometimes it's like the opponent has a Snapcaster and a 3/3 from Oko and a Baleful Strix, and then the card's insane. Sometimes it doesn't do a whole lot, but I think the splash is kind of, I don't want to say free, but close to it. Like Plateau is not a cost. Get Me as a Garden is a cost, and that's kind of it. I would still play Triome to enable Ancestral and Teferi, so I don't think the cost is that big. This should be good. Just having more, walkers for like repeated advantage slash value. That's just decent. So realistically, out of a Sultai deck, there could be like a Damnation that wasn't, good enough to main deck because he also plays some creatures himself. But now that they're playing against dedicated creature strategy, it could be awesome. This is very unexciting. The thing is, it has all my colors. It's kind of tempting to... but I think I need to play before turn 3 on the draw. Yeah, this is a lot better for obvious reasons. So I can get rid of... maybe it's Jetmir's Garden because I'm unlikely to, draw Fire Covenant anytime soon, and that it's good. And maybe all of those tap lands can be bad. Let's see. There's also a chance it should be Wasteland because I'm planning to build towards Teferi, but I can be a big boy and not activate Wasteland. That is entirely possible. Parallax Wave is not really a good draw unless there are like creatures in the mix. Same land start as last time, if I remember correctly. This could be a good Wasteland my opponent out of 2 mana and even double splashes, and then cast Ancestral. If they float, I can do it on draw. If they don't float, I can just do it now. Let's not get pierced. We did not get pierced, but I didn't find a play, so I might even have to go to cleanup with this scenario. Kind of bad. Then Ancestral becomes draw 3, discard 1. Lingering Souls is not bad for that job. So do I discard Lingering Souls or a land? I feel like it's a land. Let's discard a Plains. I feel like I can get my 5th land in time. And if I don't, that means I've been drawing spells for the whole game, so maybe that's fine. I'm actually pretty weak to yeah. I'm pretty weak to a walker there. Let's see, how do I play this? Thoughtseize. That card is good next turn where I can play Thoughtseize and another 3-drop. So here I could go Flicker Wisp, blink the food token, kind of annoy my opponent. Is that good? I'm not sure, but I think I'll try that. Flicker Wisp, blink the food. I could also blink the Oko and it would have 4 counters on it. Unclear what would have been the best. Mental note, looks like my opponent's looking for land. The cool thing is I can... okay, yeah, that's also a good play. Okay. There's Sheoldred, but that's not insane right now. Okay, so I feel like I should Thoughtseize my opponent to kind of see what's up, and then I'm most likely gonna go Lingering Souls. Okay, yeah, these cards are quite strong if we get into the game. So let's see, Snapcaster removal in case my opponent draws Black Source. I think that's what I'm gonna go for, but my opponent can Treasure Cruise. Oh. I guess my opponent can only Treasure Cruise if I don't play Spellbinder, but I feel like I should play Lingering Souls. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Let's play Lingering Souls to have, like, profitable attacks against Oko. So now the opponent can give me a food and have a Flicker Wisp, which is not the end of the world, because that means minus a crap ton of loyalty, and I have Parallax Wave as my, way to reset that situation. This looks like a draw 3 from the opponent. Yeah, it looks like I'm losing like to Oko basically after casting Ancestral Recall, wastelanding my opponent, thought seizing, and even like putting a lot of flyers on the board. That's super scary. The opponent draws into Swamp and Mox. Those are insane draws. Uro and Factor Fiction are no factors right now, but the remaining 2 cards sure could be. What's my best draw? Maybe a land so I can go Spellbinder and Flashback Souls? What if I don't draw land? Kind of depends on... Oh, Oko goes to 10 loyalty. Copter is decent. So maybe I go double attack Oko. Play Souls from the Yard, play Copter. That the order of those 2 cards is basically because my opponent knows about Souls, they don't know about Copter. So let's say they have Mana Leak. I don't want to... If I play Copter, then they can kind of choose, do I want to Mana Leak this or Mana Leak what's coming? So now I've successfully like put a lot of power into play. My opponent still doesn't have green mana. They already made their land drop, so it's not like they can factor Fiction into any green right now. Opponent's hand is Uro, Fact, and 2 unknowns. I feel like I'm in decent shape here. Now my opponent does what I expected them to last turn. The cool thing is here now I can crew a Copter so they get a tap Flicker Wisp, which is definitely worse for the opponent. So now I think Oko's gonna die, and the tiebreaker for which card should I play is probably that I saw Force and Negation last game. So that means I think I should be playing Sheldred to crew it. It can't get negated. I played first main because I can then crew it and attack with 1 more creature. This could be a fact in response. Let's see. Oh, Subtlety. Very nice. Very nice. Huh. That's actually something that keeps Oko alive. I'll put Shelly on top of my deck. I'll attack everything on Oko. I will loot into the Sheldred, discard Spellbinder. Opponent has to trade and block, so Oko goes to 1. That's like a decent trade for me without being, insane or anything. It was kind of annoying. The opponent got a good tempo play out of the Subtlety. Let's say I have like Thraben Inspector or the Novice. Then they have to make the same play, but only take 1 mana off my hands. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Sometimes you counterspell a 10-drop. Sometimes you have to counterspell a 1-drop. That's how Magic works. Like how you trade favorably on mana, etc. can be crucial sometimes. And this is definitely one of those hands where I can only play 1 spell each turn. My spells are insane, but I can only play 1 each turn, right? Is this main deck? Is this main phase Factor Fiction? I like that play because it actually makes Forest in the top 5 into a good play because of the Uro in hand. Yeah, that resolves Brother. Yeah, so now Forest is a good play. I can see going just No, maybe that's bad. So what if I go Greenland, memory lapse? Pretty good. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want to go like app. Uh, and yeah, the thing is, can my opponent? Yeah, the lapse is quite strong. So maybe I do like this. Sure, they can hold up lapse, but that's actually gonna make the Oko live. But I don't think I can do better. I'll do it like this. I hope this Parallax Wave is going to be insane later in the game. Right now, it's just about slugging through the opponent's Planeswalker soft counter. Yeah, I feel like this pile is just, I guess, the only other option. Ooh, they don't take the lapse. They decide to play against the Shieldred the old-fashioned way. Okay. So now what I can do instead is go Parallax Wave, try and dodge Force and Negation. Oh, Murktide. Yeah, now I definitely should try and play the Parallax Wave, because then I can clear the way, kill Oko. Ooh, if the opponent's even attacking. That doesn't look good. An attack here looks like, look at me, I have Force and Negation. I'm not sure I can worry about that for now. Okay, here goes nothing. Ooh. That was crazy important. Okay, so I got rid of the Murktide, I got rid of Oko. I don't have to, fire off more Parallax Wave activations here. But when I do, I get Flicker Wisp back, which is kind of nice. Maybe this is just my cue to do that. Okay, opponent. So now, whenever the wave is done, I get a Flicker Wisp back. The opponent gets a 3/3 Murktide back, so I'm not scared about that. The Parallax Wave was like the perfect card there. Funnily enough, my opponent wanted to make Oko survive and then just use it to make Sheldred a non-factor. But yeah, the fact that I had a clutch Parallax Wave was pretty darn awesome. Why is the opponent passing the turn here and not going Uro? Maybe something like Hardcast Force of Will? That's very possible. Hmm. So my opponent knows. Could I have cracked a food token end of turn? Yeah, okay. Ugh. My opponent knows about Sheldred. They did not use Uro. I feel like I should play a land and just play the Sheldred. I don't see why holding it should be better. My Thoughtseize is gone. Maybe Mystic Confluence is the card. I hope it's Force of Will, but maybe it's Mystic Confluence. Okay. So, good response here. Huh, the opponent want to do that? Hmm. Now the opponent definitely has more cards than me. Sheldred isn't working its magic. This is really a big boy game, I feel like. You get a lot of good games when you play white, I feel like. Just sometimes you're fast, but most of the time you're actually just, your card quality just, prolongs the game. What kind of tempo plan is the opponent on here? Maybe they're on the plan, like pressure my Parallax Wave plan. I'll go to 10 here, see what happens. Oh, is this Ninja? That would be kind of annoying, but Parallax Wave, I guess, is good for that. I will cycle with my 3 mana end of turn. I wish I cracked the food on the other turn, because I don't think that card has any use in my deck. Draw, gain some life. Parallax Wave goes down to 1. Gain some more life. Now what? Mendelian Click. Okay. That's definitely fine. Then my opponent probably has to take the Teferi. And I have some other good plays. Opponent draws some cards. Lots of Shelly triggers. So let's see. Here I have 7 damage. Maybe we just see what's up with Sculler. I think that's a good start. Nice reanimate. Wait. Did my opponent just... Ooh, the opponent could have edicted there for profit. What is that? Maybe I'm just supposed to take... Yeah, I'll take the Uro. So I'll go Novice Inspector. Yeah, I feel like if my opponent responds with Edict there, I lose my... Well, I use my Parallax Wave, but same thing, right? Would be pretty nice. So this is already triggered. Because of what? Let's see. When did I draw my second card per click? Okay, cool. Let's crack the clue right now. Gain life. Play the Guardian. I feel like I'm doing great on life points, so getting in there. My opponent can... Okay, my opponent trades with a 1/1 Spirit. That's totally fine. My opponent does not stack a food token. It's like me. Opponent has Reanimate, Island, Sheldred's Edict, which ironically would have killed Sheldred. Once Upon a Time is fine. Tundra is not gonna change anything here, I guess. Here's the Desperation move. Opponent loses life, I gain life. Looks like Sheldred. Yeah, Sheldred definitely took me home here. A bit better timing from my opponent. I only had 3 tokens, but it's also kind of a confusing wording here. If my opponent goes to top mode, sacrifice a non-token at the time, that was Sheldred. But yeah, white deck, grinded out. The Soultide deck is always nice to see. Let's see if we can keep up the winning. Don't go anywhere, guys. Alrighty, round 2. I'm on the play. Lots of tap lands going on here, but I think it's fine. I don't have black, though. It's worth noting that I would really want a black mana in my future. So let's develop the... Of course, it's white, but it's also blue for Ancestral Recall. Caracas, always a good card. There's a Plateau. Plateau is a pretty bad draw, because I already have those colors. So I kind of need my next land to be black. Ooh, nice Saga. Parallax Wave can clean up after that card. Never mind. So how do I play this? I think I play this by killing Caracas. Because then my opponent can never activate Saga and it kind of dies off. If my opponent can go get a Mox, it's a wash, but they can't. Very good for me. That's annoying. The only ones I thought about were 1 toughness flashers. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, so what a good player would have done is wasteland the Caracas before attacking, right? Because then the opponent has to flash it in, And then I just don't attack. Wow, that was horrible. My opponent did not make a land drop, so maybe that's good. I'll play, even though, let's see. No, I should play the most expensive one here. Because I can't enlist the summoning sick creatures anyway. I was about to say I want to get this going as soon as possible, but it's the same speed. This is just better on mana. So let's see what the opponent can do here to stay in the game. Oh boy. That was a costly mistake. Opponent goes Mana Vault, sure. There's Eagle. Eagle is good here. Let's cycle the Eagle for good old Scrubland. I feel like the Preacher is just to play here. That card is awesome. Yep, Scrubland, play land, play Preacher of this something. What if my opponent can kill the Preacher? Then it's nice to have a Spirit token. Okay, sure. Huh. Yeah, that was not my best showing. Throwing the Giver runes into the dumps. I like wastelanding the Caracas, but if I just do it a little bit before, I gain the information. Ooh, okay. So this is basically the reason why I kept back a Spirit token. My opponent cannot attack with Usher. I take 2 here. It's really not a problem. Okay. So now I can go Flashback Souls, play Guardian, attack for 2, hold up Fatal Push, even with Revolt. So funnily enough, let's say my opponent plays out a bunch of more creatures. Then I have, I look like a genius, but let me finish the sentence. If my opponent plays out a bunch of creatures, I can even use the combination of Parallax Wave and my opponent's Containment Priest to make sure those guys never come back. But yeah, now I just look like a G because I have an uncracked fetch and a push. My opponent tapped their Mana Ball to get here. Okay. So let's this. Push that card. Yeah, and it's just over. Like, that's just way too efficient. Wow. Huh. Aside from the Giver play, that was a clean game of Magic. So, okay, the Aggro Mirror. Do I have any crappers for the Aggro Mirror? I want Winds of Abandon. It's like slow but easier to cast Fire Covenant. I'm looking at the Stoneforge package once more, even though life gain could be decent. Do I have any like anti-combo cards in here or anti-control cards? I don't think I do. That's the thing, right? So what if I cut those? So let's see. I'm going to be on the draw here. So maybe I just add Wayfarer. Also, Wayfarer actually becomes serviceable in a longer game because I want to get to 6 mana at some point. Okay. I like this a lot. I have Fire Covenant and Winds of Abandon to kind of, and Parallax Wave, you know, for the games that are, I would say, most likely to happen, which is my opponent has a lot of creatures, I have a lot of creatures. Okay, great opener as well. Cheap removal, cheap creatures. Yeah, this looks awesome. So I go Swamp Pass, hold up push. Turn 2, I can think about Legionnaire or Copter. I'll most likely go Copter, let's be honest. Okay. That is a good start. That is a good start, but it's also a mana base that kind of kills itself. So let's see. Fetchland would be insane. Thoughtseize. I don't think so. I don't think so. I want to go the first striker here. Force my opponent to have removal. If they don't, I just stabilize straight up. If they do, I have to werewolf it, fox it rather next time. Okay, this fast Rebel Master might do it to me. The opponent has a plan and they're not scared to execute it. I take 6. I have to shock myself here. Oof. Yeah, this is terrifying. So if my opponent has one more removal, could be cooked. Ooh. Yeah, so I'm actually supposed to flash that in on my opponent's upkeep. Because if my opponent kills it in a turn, Solitude was a possibility, Dismember was a possibility, then the Rebel Master attacks. So yeah, that was just not a good play. I gave away too much damage there, like for no reason. I'm sad about that. Okay. Explosive draw by the opponent there, and coupled with my mistake, didn't exactly look pretty. So after getting smoked by that, do I want a spear? Probably want a spear. I can bring out Weathered Wayfarer. I don't think I'm that happy about the spear that I want to Stoneforge into it, though. Yeah, maybe that deck building was just questionable to begin with. Okay, so another hand will get run over, but has great card quality throughout the game. The Dream is drawing a 1 or 2 drop to kind of fill the gap next turn. Sure. That is a good one. So my opponent has Solitude and Fury. Pretty great cards. If I can, I want to make those cards not good. No attack from the opponent. I'll obviously love to see that. Let's play the Preacher. Ooh, Mana Tithe. Love that. I'm gonna stay back here. I don't feel like I want to trade damage in this matchup. I feel like I'll be good if the game goes longer. Blade Splicer is very beatable here, thankfully. I draw land, I slam Shieldred. If I don't, I most likely Bodyguard. Yeah, what's the reason to Bodyguard? Let's see. The reason to Bodyguard is... But it's the same with Flicker Wisp. Okay, maybe I just Flicker Wisp. What if I get Furied? Yeah, what if I get Furied? Maybe that's just the name of the game. Then my opponent has like a good 2 for 2. Flicker Wisp the Germ. Or the Golem, rather. Still stay back, which feels kind of bad, but I think I'm supposed to do. I draw land, I have Shieldred or Inquisition plus interaction. Chandra is a good one, definitely. Okay, killing that. I feel like I have to attack, force a block, and then vindicate the Chandra. It's like a decent turn for me. My opponent will get in for some damage, though. But the Chandra is off the table. Yeah, the opponent's doing a great job here. That is a good sign for me. My opponent sacrificing a canyon. That means they at least have 1 more land, if not 2. Let's see. Okay. And I drew the land, so that means Sheldred is gonna hit the table. Question is if I want to clear the way first and play another creature. I think that's good. Let's see. Containment Priest. Okay, so Solitude is a good one. Solitude and Pyrokinesis for that matter. Let's take that. Pyrokinesis is good if my opponent finds the land. Okay, so I think I like this. Like attacking there. And then I like to play Flashy with my Bodyguard and maybe bait out Solitude. So let's see. What if I do it on the Usher? Because then I'm threatening to... No, this is just fine. And then I'm like getting rid of the Human Warrior for good. And oh, my opponent lets me trade off here. That's surprising, but could be an awesome play to keep the Solitude. Ferocidon. Okay. I might lose that. I might lose this game because of that decision. That was a cool play by the opponent. I'm gonna play that, stay back, because now it's like cat and mouse here. But now the opponent must go for Solitude because of Menace, unless they keep drawing like insane heavy hitters. Yeah, this makes a lot of sense. Getting rid of the first striker. I gain some life. But the good thing about it is now the opponent has Perikinesis and one unknown, and I jam Sheldred. Let me quickly check if I have Fairy in the deck. I don't. Do I have any 5-drops? I don't think I do. I should probably play this still. I could draw like Lingering Souls. That's like a 5-drop, right? So does this have Vigilance? No Vigilance. So we pass. This is a tough game. Also, I don't have any lifelink from Sheldred here because of Ferocidon. Kind of brave to have Ferocidon in a creature matchup, but it looks like it's paying off for the opponent here. Hero, okay. Can't say I love that. Okay, my opponent has Perikinesis and okay, and a 2/2. So my opponent's at 11. They look to build up for an insane Alpha Strike next turn. Yeah, I'm in trouble here. Definitely in trouble. Giver of Runes. Life gain doesn't work. I'll pass the turn. Opponent goes to 9. Yeah, I think I'm just dead here, but let's see. I need to double block the Ferocidon, but that's probably not even in the picture. Let's say Shouldered on Hero. Guardian on Solitude. Giver on that card. Then I take damage from this. It's 4. It's 6. And it's 2 tokens. So yeah, I feel like I'm just dead here. Oof, tough times. The opponent found some great draws. I didn't play perfect, and it just added up, like the life loss from Godless Shrine. So even though the opponent is taking damage here and dead on the backswing, I can't do anything because let me just quickly check again. Sheldred blocks there, blocks there, blocks there. Take 10. Yeah, that's just gonna do it. Okay. Trying to get to the chat. GG, great games. Ooh, I really got schooled there. Let's see if we can win the last one for the glory. Yeah, what a match. Ooh. Okay, it's round 3 time. After a brutal loss, I'm trying to bounce back. I really got schooled in round 2. Okay, we can keep this hand. Good mix of lands and spells. Well, decent at least. We don't want to draw too many more lands. And we have all our colors. So good potential off the top. Fire Covenant against the creature deck. Ancestral versus everyone. I wonder what you're supposed to do turn 1 here. Maybe it's Inquisition. Yeah, it should be Inquisition. Wow, which format? I thought it was Vintage Cube, not Vintage. Chris Top Deck. That's a good name. Excuse me. Anger to the Graveyard. Yeah, this could be That's the dream. That's awesome. Going turn 1 hollow 1. So my opponent saw the Inquisition. Let's see if they were able to play around it. They were not. Okay, nice Ursa Saga. That's awesome. Turn 1 Czar hollow 1. Nice. Let's see what this. Ooh, did my opponent find a play? My opponent's hand is 1 unknown, 1 Ursa Saga. Broodwalla with haste. Let's go. Send it in the zone. This is kind of tricky Vindicate. Because, that's a very bad draw. Because if I Vindicate my opponent's land, they really don't do much. But on the other hand, I need to find a way to beat this hollow 1. But maybe I have to trust my deck. How do you feel about that? Trusting your deck. Sounds cool to boot. Because it's when I Vindicate that, I'm kind of also taking Ursa Saga out of the equation. But let's see, if I break for a few turns, I could just be dead because of that decision. Let's see. Stay back with the Inspector. I will take the trade with Broodwalla if my opponent develops 1 more red source. I'll take 4 damage if hollow 1 attacks alone. Let's see if I regret it yearly or look like a genius. Two good options. Maybe crack this. Okay. Bodyguard, make sure I stabilize. Play Guardian, pass. Let's see what's going on with my opponent's Ursa Saga here. Thespian stage. I'm scared here. Bunch of non-basics. Master. Thankfully. Okay, yeah, this is awesome. Bazaar, Master. Definitely awesome. I'm going to take 4 more damage here, go to 8. So let's see. Maybe this is where I go. Enlist, Novice Inspector, attack. Play Bodyguard. The problem with Bodyguard is it's not a good blocker if my opponent actually has red mana out of the Saga, but that's like Mox Ruby. My opponent could also draw red, which would be kind of annoying, but I think this is decent. So let's go. Attack and list. Try to kind of set myself up. Attack and enlist. Choose a creature. Okay, let's see if this works. So I get to scry 2 here, attack for 3, which is less important. But finding something to do next turn would be pretty nice. Cathar Commando. I think that's better than a random card, even though it's not. It's not 100% clear. So my opponent takes 3. I'm gonna. Let's see. I'm gonna just play planes, hold up, cycle. I can't cycle this turn though, but I can next turn. Next turn I'm developing a 2-drop, so I'll have 3 mana to spare. I'll wait on the flashy guy here because I want my opponent to commit the 1/1 Root Walla. That would be ideal. Pass. This Thoughtseize is most likely gonna make Guardian Nubenalia indestructible in the future. Ooh, I forgot about that. Okay. So your opponent actually has more cracks at it. Okay, okay. My opponent looks like they don't float mana from Ursa's Saga. They're living the best life here. Graveyard Hate. Mm-hmm. Did my opponent find a mountain for pumping the Root Walla? That is the question. And are they willing to search for it with Bazaar and keep that as the only one? Ooh, I like this. Cycle Soul Guide, activate Czar, go to 5 cards. Yeah, this is... The opponent could tempo me out here, especially because of, like, if they find a mountain... Nice Benchmine. Yeah, that's a tap mountain, though. Keep a card on top, and now I'm very happy to get rid of the Root Walla. I have 1 card left. Bodyguard, Hollow One gone. Block Root Walla. Very good turn for me. So maybe I go attack. No, that's not. Oh, easy. Hey, easy now. Attack and enlist. Choose that one. So get in for 5. Let's see. Don't think I can say no to a Flicker Wisp. Thoughtseize my opponent, go to 6. Get rid of a Stalker. Now the question becomes, don't do that. Okay, let's go. Come on. Yeah, this is kind of a grind. If my opponent keeps paying life here, it could end up mattering a lot. I have 5 damage on the field right now, and that makes the Commando lethal, but my opponent doesn't know that. I do have a Vengevine in the yard, which is super scary, but I mean, they need to discard 3 cards, so it has to be something like Baskin Root Walla, 1 drops, whatever. So let's see what this is. Gurmag Angler? 17-18. Okay, yeah, that's pretty awesome. So I think that's lethal. I flicker. No, it's not lethal. Wait here. This is kind of epic. Maybe I'm doing fine. But let's see. Block. Sure. Pass. Let's see. So what I can do here is attack for a bunch and then flicker this one as a blocker. Let's see. That should be good. So attack. Yeah, Lingering Souls is pretty good as well, but I can't get to it. That's the thing, right? This game got confusing. I forgot about haste as well. Maybe it's this one. It's probably fine. Oop. Draw. Pass. Yeah, that was the... But it's actually good that I got to see, like, Bizarre, Anger, Root Wallah's, Vengevine, Hollow One. Like, I haven't seen it all season, which is not good for, like, how the archetype as a whole looks, right? So now I'm losing to, I can think about like one card, the like Monstrous Rage. I want my opponent to have that card and kill me with it. That would be pretty amazing. Insane game. Insane game indeed. Looks like we got there. Vindicate on the land was really smart. Yeah, this deck is probably ranging from the best ever to the worst ever. Like having turn one, hollow one out of a bazaar is pretty darn good. Let's see. I did draft a little bit of graveyard hate. I'm just gonna Stoneforge Mystic. That'll haunt me. I think I like Winds of Abandon for a longer game. Do I also like Wayfarer? Maybe. But now I have to cut cards. Maybe Fire Covenant isn't all that. I can get rid of that card. It's kind of a lot of life and Hasty Boys, etc. I like Wasteland a lot versus the Merit Age Saga Bazaar deck. I think I like all of these other cards. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's see if we can take this deck down. Looks like very high variance. Like, just imagine that game without a Bazaar or without turn one, hollow one. It would just be, like, laughably bad, right? These cards are good. I have turn one Inquisition. I can push a creature, not a hollow one, though. When I find a second lane, I can start interacting with the yard, and I have some creatures. Yeah, I'm actually gonna keep this. It seems like I have enough stuff to do that not finding the land on time, maybe like one turn after is okay. Nice draw. So let's Inquisition. I think it's a good idea to do that as early as possible. Firebolt and Mutagenic Growth. Yeah, these cards are not impressive. Pump spells, really not my favorite. I'm gonna take Firebolt here. Firebolt is just a card that one for one's my giver. We don't want that if we can help it. Opponent is trying to surveil something cool into the yard. Okay. They probe into whatever they found. I take 3, I go to 15. Fair enough. Sculler is a decent one here. If I play Sculler, I do take more damage though. But I'm snagging whatever my opponent just got. So I think that's worth taking 3 more damage for. Oh, it was just a land, I guess. Let's see. What am I playing around? Do I play around my opponent getting a discard outlet and 3 spare mana? Or do I play around my opponent's Hardcast Anger? Hardcast Anger seems more realistic, but that Archfiend could be annoying later in the game. The thing about Hardcast Anger is, at that point, it's kind of like a free attack, and then when I block it or whatever, all the remaining creatures are Hasty Boys, and that could be bad. Let's see. There's also the possibility I just block here. Maybe that's better. But I do have a Fatal Push. Yeah, let's take damage. Lane would be awesome, but I think that would be unreasonable to expect. I do get a Mox. Now I can go 1-drop, 1-drop, push. Okay, okay. It's good to empty your hand of spells. And the race is actually not that bad. So now we maybe can play the cat and mouse game where the opponent attacks, I block with an inspector, they pump, I then fatal push. I don't want to play that game. I feel like I should push that card. End of turn. So the thing about Parallax Wave on an empty board is you kind of have to finish the game somewhat fast. I think it's better for me to go Soul Cauldron, and then I can exile the opponent's Firebolt on upkeep. I don't want my opponent, to get mileage out of drawing a 5th land. Killing my Giver. This is way better, I feel like. I think I crack Clue here to play around exactly Bowmaster. Yeah, okay, that'll do it. The opponent's deck kind of crumbled there after a pretty nice, like, game one. That was pretty cool to see. But yeah, here it's just slow and steady wins the race. Took a lot of damage, stabilized easily. I was lucky to get the lands I needed to play Magic, and from there it was kind of smooth sailing. So, pretty great league. Pretty great league. I loved my deck, and we lost to just like aggressive draws in round 2 that happens, and we got to really show the card quality round 1 against Sultai, and here, yeah, I guess House of Cards loses to like a well-oiled machine, so that's just what happens. All right, that'll do it for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys back here on the channel soon. Bye, guys.